Hey guys. Okay, missing information. The first piece of missing information that we discovered that we feel is important is the relationship between Neil and Stephen. What is their legal status? Are they married? Do they have a civil union? All these things can play into the rights that Stephen has for Neil when he dies and dealing with this whole situation. So we feel like that's important to know is their legal status. Another piece of information that we thought that was important to know is how does Neil's father accept him and Steven's relationship? Does he just tolerate it? We know that they've been together for 25 years, but how has that 25 years looked? Has it been rocky? Has it been smooth? Just what is Neil's father's attitude towards the relationship? Another thing that we thought was important and a piece of information that could be helpful was the type of Judaism that Neil practices. In America, there are four major types of Judaism that are practiced, and those are Orthodox, Conservative, Reformed, and Reconstructionist types of Judaism. And all those different types have different beliefs and different traditions and different levels of strictness on how they view the Torah or how they view the religious practices of Judaism. So we feel that based on the type of Judaism that they practice, that will make a big difference in how Neil's father will react to what they want to tell him. Another piece of information is how has Neil talked to his father in any way about what he wishes to happen when he dies. We know that Neil has been sick for quite some time, but we don't know if he's ever had a discussion with his father about his wishes or what he wants to happen after he dies. Also, does Neil have an attorney or a living will or a final will in the testament? These things are very important to know because especially dealing with the final will in the New Testament, dealing with what happens to Neil after his death, that's a legal document by law that has to be abided by. So that's really important to know is does Neil have these things, and that can make the situation so much smoother if he does. Also, who is designated to make medical decisions for Neil after when he no longer can? Examples: conservatorship or power of attorney. These things are just gives a person a legal right to make decisions for a person when they are unable to, whether physically or mentally. These things give a designated person, a right to make these decisions for a person that can no longer do those. So those are the missing pieces of information that we found that could help our case. Also, the concerns. So one concern was that we had was does Cooper even have the legal authority to make sure that Neil's wishes are made and respected? In hospice, social workers' main role is to build rapport with the family and just to make the transition smooth and bring families together and make sure all the things are running smoothly, and sometimes be a broker, giving them resources for the funeral or the last days of the client. So is making sure that somebody's wishes are respected. Is that even in Cooper's worker role? And if not, he can be working outside of his competency and working outside his area of expertise, which is something that we don't want to do as competent social workers, and we just want to make sure we do what we know how to do and what we're assigned to do by our agency. Also, could this decision and Cooper stepping into this decision harm the relationship between him and Neil's father and the rest of his family, or even between Stephen and the family? We know that one of the roles of the social worker in hospice is to bring the family together and make this process, as hard as it is already, make it as smooth and as easy as possible without any outside stress or worry. So what are the risks and what are the benefits for Cooper doing this for this family? Also, is the stress of the situation the stress of this decision that Neil has to make, is it putting extra stress on him, which could negatively impact his health. We know that he's already very ill and he's near death. So, as social workers and as any professional working in the hospice setting, we don't want to put any extra stress or any extra burden on someone who's already dealing with such a crucial time in their life. So we have to just be sure that this situation is not putting any stress on Neil any more than he needs. And if so, we need to find a way to alleviate this and to make sure that Neil is as healthy as he possibly can without any external factors negatively impacting him. Also, what is the relationship between Neil and his father? Why is it hard for Neil to express to his father what he wants? That's just something kind of goes along with missing information too, but it's also a concern of ours because we know as social workers to respect and we know the importance of human relationships, and we try to respect that, and we try to respect our clients' wishes and the importance of their family members to them, and any relationship that's very important. So just to know that about that relationship a little more could help us. Also, what are the other support systems, or who are the other support systems of Neil that could maybe possibly help him come to a decision, or maybe help him express these concerns to his father? Those are things that are concerns, because we know that our job is to allow client self-determination and not to get in the middle of any family situation, but rather just help them out in any way we can. Also, what is one of our concerns is the physical, mental, spiritual, and social health of Neil. Like I said before, is this hurting him anyways? Is it harming him? Is it putting extra stress on him? Is it something that we don't want?